Hey y'all, it's Kei
What is up, y'all? This is Bree. We are back in the room again.
in the room.
It is so early.
Are you gonna pass out?
I might, girl. I don't know why I committed to this
Because
earlier
you picked this actually. Just remember, I actually picked later, so I want to put that on record. Okay.
because I'm trying to be great. And
You
being
are
great
great.
forces myself to do things outside of my comfort zone.
Okay.
So here
Look
we
at this
are.
growth. Here we
Here
are early in the morning.
we are.
Great. So did you go sleep good?
You know what? I did. That was the problem this morning. I told you I've been getting like herbs from this
Mm-hmm.
Zen shop not too far from where I live. And I had some mugwort tea last night.
Oh, you went to sleep.
Girl, did I go to sleep? Deep, deep. And she was like,
Yeah.
do not take this if you're leaving the house.
Yes. Mugwort will definitely put you down. It is real calming and relaxing. It is, I think it's almost it's right there. It's better than what's the stuff?
What?
Melatonin. Like
Yes.
it's
Yes.
stronger.
And I mixed it with hibiscus, maybe?
Oh yeah, I love
Nettle.
that.
One of them, girl, I don't know. I don't know. I was like,
You know, activated charcoal makes you start to slow down too. Because a part of my detox, I have to drink it at night, and it's like I'll be wide awake until I drink it. It's just a cup, and it tastes like water, right? But like it slowly kind of does that too. But anyway,
yeah.
yes, I'm glad you slept great, and I hope you have a great day after this.
Let us hope.
So I've been resting
Uh-huh.
and being and pausing
I love it. I love
and
it.
being in yoga poses. Yes, yoga poses. And something hit me.
Mm.
I realized something in my being of stillness
Mm-hmm.
that an issue that had been at the core of a lot of things was communication.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So we know communication is extremely important, right? In general, in life.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that when I was sitting still, it allowed so many like moments and situations to come up where it's like this could have been handled better, or
Yeah.
this may have had a different outcome had there been some communication, right? So of course so I'm sitting here with myself because this is self time, journaling time,
Yeah.
reflective time. And I was like, I think I am a decent communicator, right? But always there's room for improvement. But I realized my old pattern that I've been working on getting out of is I wait too late to communicate sometimes,
That part.
right? So it's a build up. So by the time I communicate, you know how oh god, especially in my 20s. And I was like 21, 22. Boy, I was that person. Like I ain't say nothing. And then a man or somebody's gonna wake up to that long paragraph because
Girl.
it all done hit me
The
and I
one we
got
should have
all of it
deleted.
to
Yep.
say. And he's just probably gonna delete it and not read it anyway. But it felt good to me in that moment. And I didn't think nothing was wrong with it, right? Because I'm basically vomiting. I'm vomiting, but I feel like I'm communicating, and it was not helpful. But I have been doing better. But I was like, I think that is a lot of our issues as people, and that often we do think we're better at communicating than we actually are. And so
Mhm.
sometimes we don't communicate because of our own discomfort.
Absolutely. I think so. And well, maybe we'll get to like that later.
Uh-oh.
I don't know, maybe it fits now. I just didn't want to jump subjects. Yes, communicating to your own discomfort for sure. And I know a lot of my communication, like for years, has always been in journaling. So in my mind, I'm like, as long as I get it out somewhere, then that should suffice for, me not holding it. But it's totally different between me and the page and the pen versus me saying it and it falling upon the ears of a person who needs to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally different type of relief and feeling of being heard. So I think with the journal is, okay, Bree, you've expressed this thing to you, you've accepted it, but not to the person who should hear it. I had another point. I just can't remember what it was.
You're fine, but that makes sense. So maybe you can do both, right? Like journal to get comfortable with what you need to say, because everybody is not good with on the spot words. That's
Oh,
just the reality, right? Because people, you leave situations like I should have said this, and
yeah.
I should have said that. And it's just like, okay, but it didn't come up, and that's okay. But I think when you journal, it gives you the opportunity to not just get it out, like you said, but I feel like it also gives you opportunity to get through the fluff. And what I mean by that is that not that you're making it nicer, because I do believe presentation matters, but
Sure.
that the unnecessary words or the unnecessary topics that you brought into it, so that the one that you really wanted to focus on did not seem as major. So I think when you journal, it makes you filter and get to the real root of the problem. Because if you upset me, for instance, right now, in 5 minutes, if I process it, I may have different feelings than when you originally did it. And that process may actually get me to what really is bothering me versus what I'm just reacting to.
Yeah.
So I think that's good. Journaling is not too bad.
I stopped. If we talk about, like I mentioned, journaling as a way to help me express, I stopped journaling. So I just found this really vintage looking journal that I had, went through all the Amazon pages to find this specific type of book, because I'm like, this is the one that's going to help me get all this shit out, right? Ordered it, wrote in it maybe twice. I found it last night. Like, no lie, I was telling my sister about it. Found it last night. The last entry date was December 21st. No, December 19th, 2021.
Did you say December 19th of 2021?
Yes, 2021.
Okay.
And I wrote in it last night.
Okay.
Exactly. Right. And what I started the entry with last night was how I ended the entry in 2021. I was like, what the hell?
Well, there is some consistency there.
Is there? Is there? Like, I be knowing what I need to say, what I need to talk about, but I run from the pen too.
So before we move on with communication, I'm about to dig into your business and say,
okay.
So you running from the pen. So that's almost like running from the communication in any form. Like, you don't even want to talk to yourself. That's how much you don't want to talk. That's how much you don't want to face it, right?
Yeah.
So we figured out that fear is really the bigger issue of our lack of communication. And then I think people just naturally think that they're better at things than they are because of one or two reasons. You're not experiencing how you're doing it, right? So you just feel like, I got to be doing it better than everybody else because y'all suck. And then the second one is nobody has called you out on it, A, because they're scared, or B, they don't know how to communicate. So now we got a whole bunch of people talking and ain't saying nothing. That's what I say. Some people think they communicate, but you're just talking.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I will admit, like, I have been gently confronted.
Okay.
About the way.
You look like it was gentle, the way you looked up, but gently.
Yeah, I don't know if it was gentle, but I know that was the intent. Okay, so I'll put that. Okay. That was the intent. Okay. I have been gently confronted about how I communicate or the lack thereof, but it was framed in a way that, like, anytime I express something to you, Bree, that it's bothersome for me or that I have an issue with or something like that, you get quiet. Or it takes you forever to process. So that in turn makes me not want to say anything at all. That's how it was presented to me.
That's very interesting.
I get it. I know. I get it. I didn't like it. Not even because you confronted me. Like, I'm cool with that, right?
Yeah.
Constructive criticism, sure, no problem. But I think it was just the way it was worded, not what you say, but how you say it.
Okay. But so the overall message was.
The overall message is that I get quiet, correct. It takes me a while to process.
It takes you a while to process it. And then it makes you want to shut down. Okay.
I received that. Yeah.
Okay. But it's very interesting though.
The fact that it makes you not want to, that's your shit, homie, not mine.
Okay, but so now here's me being devil's advocate, because that's my job.
Of course.
But it points to something that I've noticed, not in you in general. That's the very thing you said that bothers you. And so a lot of times the things that bother us about other people, we do. And we don't realize that we do it. Because earlier, just a minute ago, you literally said, if I'm going to express myself to you, you're going to take weeks and days to process. And now I don't want to talk anymore. But ain't that amazing? Like, literally.
Oh my God, I did.
Work. So when you said it, I said, that's what I said. That's interesting.
I did. It don't take me days. In the moment.
It's
So
the same though.
it is the
It's
same,
the
but
same feeling.
let me clarify.
Here we go. Look at this is when you know somebody just acting up. Go ahead.
So in the moment you ask me a question, I might need 5 minutes to get through whatever it is that I got shuffling in my brain to say what I need to say.
But
This
did you say
person,
that?
huh?
But did you say that? Because you said I don't care if you want to take days, but say that. Did you say I need a
No,
moment to
no,
process it?
I say I'm still thinking. I'm still
Okay,
thinking.
girl, we gonna let Bree be great.
You know what? I don't care. Let's move on. I don't care. I don't care. Let's move on.
Bree, no, you're not. We are all growing here. You're not gonna do that. I wasn't using it to harass you. I'm just saying,
yes, you would.
people. No, because it's true. All of the things that bother us about other people, we do. We just don't realize we do it. And that's really, it's transference. That's why we really have such a bigger reaction to it. Like even the things your parents do that piss you off the most, you probably have those traits, but you have your version.
Yeah.
Yes. But no, I'm glad you said that. So
I agree with that.
in your moment, you're like, okay, you didn't like the presentation, but you were fine with the communication of somebody saying, hey.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
so, no problem at all.
Yes. And so I also think that, obviously, the way you grew up is going to impact how you communicate. Because then you have those people that just say anything.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're one of those people
that say anything to me.
When you just say anything, or people who call themselves blunt, just as a nice word to be rude and mean, because I'm gonna call you on that. Most people that be like, I'm just blunt and people can't handle it. That's not true. You're rude. You're rude. And being a good communicator is being able to present your message to the person you want the message to be able to receive it.
Yeah.
And if your attitude and your tone is bigger than the message, I didn't hear you. Right? Because now my brain is saying, who the hell are you talking to? That's what my brain is saying. I don't even know what you said. I don't know what she said. She could have just said Jesus came back and gave me some money, but all I heard was her tone and who she talking to. Yeah. So I think like
your whole facial expression changed just now when you were saying that. Who is she talking to?
Because that's how we feel. It's like, what? And so I think reflecting on your own communication style is important.
Yeah.
And realizing it, and being a good communicator is also being a good listener.
So talk about communication style. How has yours changed from, let's say, 5 years ago? Okay, that response says this is a good time period. All right, 5 years ago to you now.
Well, in the two major ways that stand out to me is one, I am used to being a very mute person. And I don't mean like I don't talk. Like I'm gonna talk to you, but like I don't share my feelings in general. It doesn't matter if it's a relationship, if it's at work. I'm very like internalizer. So like when somebody would do something to me, I just took it home. I just processed it. I didn't act different towards them. Yeah. So there are a lot of people that probably have done hurtful things to me that would never know it because I never expressed it. I don't treat people differently. I don't act differently towards you. I would just kind of process it. And so part of it was I was giving people the benefit of the doubt a lot. So in my mind, if I know you and we have a relationship, I always err on the side of you did never intentionally do anything to hurt me. So I don't think that Bree said this to be mean to me. You know what I'm saying? So I would just take it home like, okay, I feel some way about it and process it. That's not healthy. Yeah. Because then people repeatedly do things to you and they don't know. So somebody cannot fix what they don't know that you've not spoken of. So I've gotten way better with that. Yeah. And then I think this was before I became a therapist. I've always been like that. But I think when I became a therapist, this second part became worse because I was a therapist. Like I've always been a person, I'm a great listener. And we're going to have a 30-hour conversation and I'm not going to say anything about me. Yeah. And so realizing that that's not the best because now like I'm communicating with this person, but I'm not. I'm listening, but now we're getting in the habit of me not participating. And so I wasn't practicing communicating because I was just there being like something for people to vent to, if that makes sense. So I didn't participate in that. I would even go on dates and it would almost be like an interview. It would feel like, because I would just be like, like, but I'm really genuinely listening.
Yeah.
But I have no desire in me to say anything
about you,
about me, right? And if you ask me, I'll answer. But I tell people all the time, I am very private, and I'm so private, but I'm so open that it appears that I'm sharing way more information than I'm actually sharing with you. But that was a problem, because then that did not allow me to be vulnerable with people, which then impeded on my communication with people, right? But I don't do that anymore. And it feels great, because now I just say random stuff and I don't even be sharing.
Yes, you do.
But it's so fun. Like, I'll even tell people, like one of my friends, I'm like, I'm unbiased. I said, I'm not dealing with your crap today, because
you just told me that yesterday. You were like, I'm sick of you and your BS. Get out of my phone. I was like, oh my God.
Yes, because it's, well, and sometimes, I mean, in jest most of the time, but I really just got comfortable with it, because I realized the more I did it, nobody was offended. Nobody was offended because Key didn't want to listen today. Nobody was offended because I was like, I don't have the space for this today. And nobody was offended. I was like,
that's real.
My favorite line, when my health took a turn and I realized I had some things going on and that stress made it worse. Oh, that's when I really changed. You can't stress me out. And I would tell people, I was like, what you're talking about is stressing me out. I don't want to hear it. Because I was so adamant, because my health was at risk. And at that point, I didn't care about nobody else, to be honest. Yeah. So 5 years ago, it was way different. I'm still a work in progress, because sometimes I still go back to my old ways.
Oh, absolutely. Catch me slipping anytime. Anytime.
Oh, yeah. Especially depending on who I'm talking to.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Because people be peopling. And I'll be like, I don't really want to do this. So I would say that is probably the biggest differences I see. And I think what really hit me is, I like music. So you remember that song? I can't think of who's singing right now. I don't even think it's Minnie Riperton. I'm not singing that. It's morning.
You be singing, and
we're not gonna sing that song because it's too high.
It's fine.
We'll do different next time. But I think it's the song like I found love on a two-way street and lost it on a lonely highway. Yeah, that's my song. And so I really love that song. But that song was lying.
I hope they cut that clip, because I don't want
that. They're not. That's gonna be the one that's on YouTube probably. So so that song was lying, but I didn't realize it until in the last few years.
Wait a minute. Let me think about the lyrics. On a lonely highway. What were they lying about?
Let me tell you why the song was lying. The lyrics wasn't lying for real, but that song used to always make me think of the saying that communication is a two-way street. And I feel like that's a lie.